Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Madrid Hub again. I'm your host, Dr. JOTA, and today, as you know, we are starting another international break. So over the next 15 days, we don't have any club game, any club match. So, and that is what I'm really interested in. So to me, I'm not a very national team guy. I really don't. I do like to watch some international breaks and games and stuff and national teams and all the stuff, especially France and Spain, but I'm not a very, national team guy, but I'm okay with that. So we will try to go through this in the best way possible and cover all the news about Real Madrid, about the future of some players, signings, transfers, departures, and all this stuff. So today we will be talking about 4 different news for Real Madrid. The first one is about Vinicius Jr. And the reason for that is because, according to Florentino Romano last night, the Italian journalist said Vinicius Jr. is okay with all these rumors and speculations about the possibility for him to extend his contract in Real Madrid. Apparently the guy really likes the, so-called new offer that Real Madrid will throw on the table in the next several weeks. As you know, Real Madrid is thinking, they say, in offering the player an extension of 6 years. He might have a release clause of about 1,000 million euros and a net salary of about 8 million per season, which is more than double. Yeah, it's a little bit more than double that the money he's making right now in Real Madrid. His wage right now is about 3.5 a year, so it's still the same contract he signed for the first time with Real Madrid like 5 years ago. So I'm not surprised at all Real Madrid wants to give him a raise, just because it's not only he deserves that raise, but of course it is because a player in his age, a player with his projection, a player that is being so important as he is right now in Real Madrid, really deserves this kind of salary. I was thinking at first that he was going to be offered about 10 million or something like that per season, but apparently it is a little bit high, and Real Madrid has decided to offer 8 million. But let me tell you what, Vinicius Jr. is okay with that, and according to Fabrizio Romano, is super okay with that, and he agrees to sign that kind of contract if those are the terms of the new deal with Real Madrid. So the thing is, Vinicius Jr. wants to keep playing for Real Madrid, and we all know there won't be any kind of obstacle, trouble, or problem between Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr. for him to keep playing for Real Madrid. So I'm so happy to share with you, all this news, just because, as you know, Vinicius Jr. has become finally one of the most important players in the world. To me, it is no longer a racing star. To me, it is already one of the big names in soccer. And I'm talking about a player who, in my opinion, is the best player when it comes to one-on-one situations, dribblings and verticality and danger and all the stuff. Alongside Benzema, he is, in my opinion right now, the best soccer player in the spectrum. Even ahead of Erling Haaland or Kylian Mbappe. He actually have right now better numbers in terms of goals, in terms of assists, in terms of minutes played and all the stuff. So to me, I'm not kidding at all, of course. To me, Vinicius Jr. is one of the greatest in this season, so that's why he deserves this kind of salary. And of course, he might end making even more than that. Maybe in 4 years down the road, Real Madrid decides to extend his contract a little bit more, and then he probably give him another raise or something like that. But for now, I think that 8 million is good enough. So happy to be here sharing with you all this news about Vinicius Jr. because the player, in my opinion, might stay for a very long time in Real Madrid. So now let's move on and let's talk about more news that we have. In this case, I will be talking about Brahim Diaz, and the reason for that is pretty much because Real Madrid, Brahim Diaz is doing such a great performances, such a great job in Milan right now that Real Madrid is considering to monitoring a little bit more the player over the next games that he will be playing in the national team of Spain, because we have to take a decision on his future. I mean, whether retake the guy back to Real Madrid or sell the guy to Milan. I mean, as you know, the player in Milan is succeeding, is doing a great job. He has scored 4 goals, 2 assists in 10 games, which is of course very good numbers. He's wearing actually the number 10 in the back, which means a lot of things for soccer players, as you know. So to me, it is one of the best players right now, not only in Milan, but also in the Serie A in Italy. So that's why Real Madrid is thinking about to get the player back for the next season. But this is of course something that we still have to consider. I mean, I'm okay with that. The player is great. The player is doing a great job. The player is one of the most promising players right now in the soccer spectrum. Super young guy, very good numbers, very good stats. And of course, he might have a position, he might have a spot in Real Madrid, especially if Asensio, Bale, or even Rodrigo are not able to succeed and secure that spot for them. In my opinion, Brahim Diaz might have a chance to play or be important for Carlo Ancelotti in Real Madrid, right? But of course, I mean, this is just the beginning of the season, right? So we still have to monitor in a little bit more the player to see if this is just a coincidence. You know that he's playing great and he's doing very good performances and all the stuff, but it's just a coincidence. Or on the other hand, if we monitor Brahim Diaz a little bit more, a little bit farther until the end of the season, maybe we can have the right approach to take a better or, you know, more straight decision on the player and his future, whether it comes back to Real Madrid or stays in Italy. To me, I would be okay with that. But it's also true that Real Madrid next year in the attack will have a bunch of numbers, very important numbers, big names like Haaland, Mbappe, of course Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo Goes, Benzema as well. So it is kind of, you know, it is kind of a very cutting throat competition right now in the attack of Real Madrid. So any brand new player to come up to the team and try to get a spot is going to be very complicated. Even if you are called Brahim Diaz, it's going to be very difficult. And of course, anybody right now has a secure position in Real Madrid, except maybe Benzema and Vinicius Jr. And just because these two players are right now arguably some or two of the best players in the soccer spectrum. So that would be, I mean, I would be okay with that, super happy for Brahim Diaz, but I'm not sure if he is okay with that considering all the big names Real Madrid will have next year in the attack. So let's see what happens, but apparently Real Madrid will be monitoring the situation to take a decision before to go ahead and recover him for the squad next year. And now, let me move on and let's talk about the strategy Florentino Perez and Real Madrid will follow to sign in Mbappe and Erling Haaland. And of course, we will also be talking about the salary of Erling Haaland in Real Madrid, because the realchamps.com are speculating a little bit about what could be the insane salary that Erling Haaland might have in Real Madrid. So the first thing is about the strategy that Florentino Perez will follow to sign these two players. The first thing you have to keep in mind, Kylian Mbappe will sign him for free. When I say for free, it's not that Real Madrid will have to pay €0 for signing the player. That is not true. What is really true is Real Madrid will pay something to the player, kind of transfer fee of about 40 to 50 million or something like that. But we will not pay a single euro to Paris Saint-Germain, which is the most important thing. Because Mbappe, I mean, if you are able to sign Kylian Mbappe and you also have to pay about 40 to 50 million, it is great, because a player like Mbappe, you should pay more than double than that or even triple than that to the club that is belonging or has the rights or owns the player. So you would have to pay to Paris Saint-Germain about something about 150, 180, 200 million if, and this is a big if Paris Saint-Germain still owns the player. But this is not the case. So if you are able to sign Kylian Mbappe for just about 50 million euros, it's great. It's like you are signing the player for free, something like that. That is when I mean free, or when I say free, what I mean by that is that we are signing a very good player for a much lower price we used to pay otherwise, if we would have to pay something to Paris Saint-Germain, you know. That is as far as Kylian Mbappe. But now, as far as Erling Haaland, let me tell you something else, and more important. We will throw all the money that we have on the table for this player. So that means if we have to pay about 75 for the release clause, 75 million, and then bonuses for the player, commission for the agent, commission for Raiola, for his father, the salary for the player, and all this stuff, we probably have to pay 300 million in 5 years down the road, which is good, because that is exactly what the reason why we've been saving a lot of money over the last 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So that is the point. And let me tell you something else. According to the real champs, they are speculating with the possibility for Erling Haaland to have a wage in Real Madrid of about 30 million after taxes, right? But 60 million is the cost Real Madrid will have to pay for this player every single season, which means that Real Madrid will have to splash a lot of cash on just one salary, which is the Erling Haaland's salary. But we're okay with that, because the strategy, like I said, it is to sign Mbappe for free or close to zero, and then throw all the money that we have on the table for Erling Haaland. And then if there is any money left, we will try to sign other players like Antonio Rudiger, or even Paul Pogba, or Tchouaméni, all these players that might be in the loop as well. So as long as we have money left or something like that after paying to Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland, then we will try to sign more players. If we don't have any money left or something like that, then Real Madrid won't try to sign any other players, because the main priority, the top priority for Real Madrid for next year, it is pretty much to bring in together Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. That's it, and there's no other way around. So, and this is pretty much what I had for you all, guys. Now let me know your thoughts about that. Just comment in the section below, and of course, subscribe my channel, Real Madrid Hub.